Hey, it's Cesar with the Food52 Test Kitchen, and this is Recipe Drop. And today I'm making banana leaf wrap snapper with breadfruit tostones, or Tostones de Pana. We're gonna stuff our snapper with some sweet tomatoes and peppers, wrap it in a banana leaf, and I'm gonna show you how to cook it two ways, on the plancha and in the stove. If you haven't had breadfruit before, it's about to be your favorite new fruit or vegetable. It's a fruit. Eats like a vegetable. So let's start with marinating our snappers. Today I have some yellowtail snappers. Also use a red snapper. When you get your snapper from your fishmonger or supermarket, I like to keep the head on and I like to keep the fins on. I feel like by default, a lot of times the fishmonger will cut it off. I think it's pretty. It's a preference thing. But if you prefer to cut it off, whatever. But yeah, obviously, you don't eat the fins, so don't eat that. I like to make some incisions along the side of the fish. Anytime I'm making whole fish, I really do like to make these incisions. I think it makes a big difference. And my fishmonger also obviously took the guts out, so we have a clean cavity inside, which we're gonna add some good stuff to. I think I'm gonna use a bowl. Let me grab a big bowl. So I'm gonna season this pretty generously. I have my adobo. We've spoken about adobo before. I like to make my own. You can find this very easily in the supermarket, in the Latin section. Usually don't add salt to my adobo, so let me hit it with some salt first. Make sure you're salting inside the cavity as well. So today I'm actually gonna show you how to do this banana leaf wrap snapper two ways. One way is going to be on the plancha. You could also do it on the grill, and the other way is in the oven. And they're both really good. It just comes down to what you have access to. Salt, pepper. The Peugeot does kind of hit right now. I was like, why would I need a battery-powered pepper grinder? It's nice. Hit it with our adobo. Adobo is just a mix of like garlic powder, onion powder, a little turmeric, a little cumin, sometimes a little paprika. And then you can add really whatever you want. A lot of people do dried oregano, you could do dried thyme. I definitely want to get in those slits as well. You know I love my mortar and pestles. If you don't have one, just use a food processor or just your knife is fine. I'm gonna add some garlic. I should have done this before. In our mortar and pestle, garlic, a little pinch of salt just to act as an abrasive. I have fresh oregano, which I love. I love fresh oregano. If you don't have any, if you can't get it, dried is fine. Just use a little less of dried. I'm here to preach the gospel of the oregano. Just run your knife through it a little bit. All right, just gonna hit it out a little bit. And the salt does kind of keep everything in place and keep it from flying out. And to this, I'm also gonna add some lime juice and zest, of course. I don't know, garlic, lime, that's all you really need for the fish. Acid's really important with fish, whether it be lemon juice or lime juice. You don't really get the full experience of fish unless there's a little acid involved. Give this a little stir. Just gonna dump all this over our fish. I like to use gloves. I don't want fishy hands. But just everything right over. Just really get that in there. Get it in the slits. Ow! The fins are sharp. Maybe that's why they cut them off, right? And we also have our annatto oil, which I've spoken to you about a lot. There's a recipe on the site. I think there's a recipe on the site. There's definitely a TikTok as well. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of the annatto oil. It's gonna add some nice flavor, but it's also for the color as well. I feel like in Caribbean cooking, the color is really important. Just really rub it in there. Make sure to get this good stuff in the cavity. So our fish is marinating. I always like to stuff the fish with something, you know, aromatic, something that you'll eat along with the fish. So here I have some chopped cilantro. I'm just gonna make like a little sweet pepper and tomato salad situation to go inside the fish. And by the time the fish cooks, it's all gonna be really tender and jammy. So it's almost gonna make its own sauce that you can spread on the fish as you eat it. Just have some of these little baby tomatoes. I also have these sweet peppers. If you've watched my videos before, you see I use ají dulce a lot, which look like Scotch bonnets and are pretty common in Caribbean food. But these are probably more accessible here in the US. You'll find these usually in like a bag in the supermarket. Just slicing it into rings. No need to like remove the seeds or the ribs or anything. It's all sweet. I'm just gonna hit this with a little salt, little pepper. Just mix it up. And this is gonna break down and get nice and juicy inside of the fish. I'll cut up this lime too. Just some slices to put inside the fish as well. Let's start with the fish that's gonna go in the oven. So for the one that's gonna go in the oven, we're gonna use a combination of aluminum foil and banana leaf. So take a good sized piece of foil, and then to the aluminum foil, we're gonna add our banana leaves. So you've seen me use banana leaves before. These have already been washed and sterilized over a flame. You can find banana leaves pretty easily at any Asian or Latin supermarket. Also, when you're cooking with banana leaves, shiny side down. So the part that touches the food is the dull side. So just take some of this sweet pepper and tomato, little medley. Not that much is gonna fit, and that's totally fine. We're also gonna put some on top as well. Also going with some lime slices. I also like to add a little ginger. So a little slice of ginger. You're not gonna eat it, but it's gonna give a really nice flavor. You can top it as well. I'm gonna wrap it up like a present. Just bring it up. And this part we're gonna roll in. And this is gonna steam really nicely in here. So I'm putting this into a 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. For our second fish, we're gonna do it on the plancha. If you don't have a plancha, you could do it on the grill pan or outdoor grill, obviously. For this one, we do not need the aluminum foil. So I'm actually gonna go the other way with my banana leaves, and I'm gonna overlap them. Remember again, shiny side down, so the food goes on the dull side. I'm gonna put a little bit of the tomatoes and peppers first, then the snapper. There we go. Put some of that inside. Also adding my lime, adding my sliced ginger. We're gonna give it a good wrap. Tuck the sides under. You can tie it if you wanted to with some string that you've soaked, but I don't really think it's necessary. So this straight onto the hot plancha. After 10 minutes, gonna give it a flip. So we have our fish going, one in the oven, one on the plancha. Gonna flip him soon. But let's talk about this guy. So this is a breadfruit. It goes by other names. I know it as a pana or panapén. And these grow everywhere in the Caribbean. Hawaii too. These are really popular in Hawaii as well. They're really, really delicious. When they are unripened, as it is right now, it tastes like a starchy root vegetable. So we're gonna make tostones out of this. Typically, tostones are made out of plantains, but Tostones made out of pana, out of breadfruit, are also super popular, especially in Puerto Rico, and goes really, really well with fish. Make sure you wash it really well. I did. And what I like to do is I like to just cut a little bit off the bottom just to like stabilize it. Cut it in half. And it's actually pretty soft. It's not as hard as you think it'd be. That's what it looks like inside. Just gonna go along like that. Try not to go too deep. Breadfruit is super, super versatile. You can do what I'm doing today, make tostones out of it. You can make a mash out of it. You can make fries out of it. And when it gets ripe, you can make desserts out of it. I've seen people make flan and custards. We're gonna cut it into like moons. Go in like that. What you wanna do now is cut out this spongy core. So just kind of go like that. A little bit's okay, but not too much. Oh, it's time to flip. Nice. Looking good. This is what you want. You want to see that char. This is going to impart a lot of really nice flavor into the fish. Once you get here, just going to cut them. I cut these a little too small, so that is what you want. This is the size you want. One thing I did do, I forgot to mention, I like to just put in some cold salted water. This obviously gives a little flavor, but also it just washes off any extra starch. See how the water is kind of milky? This really ensures for a crispy tostone. Into our oil. So these are double fried. We fry it once. We're gonna smash them and then we're gonna fry them again. You do wanna monitor your heat. Make sure you're not getting too hot. These will burn quickly. Trying to keep it around 350. All right, things are happening. Let's have a look at this one. Oof, you smell that? Beautiful. So that's the one we did on the plancha. Beautifully cooked. It's also really nice to serve it just as it is in the banana leaf. You could trim some of this off if it's too much, which is what I might end up doing. Here's the one we did in the oven. Ooh. Here's the oven fish. Ooh, this one got really tender. I mean, I would say what you definitely miss out on when you do it in the oven is this char of the banana leaf. And that imparts so much flavor. That smokiness, that like interesting, like herbaceous smell and flavor of the banana leaf. All right, so I'm giving our pana a flip. They're starting to brown. Remember, we are frying this a second time. I've personally come to find that's the one thing about breadfruit versus plantain. I feel like plantain's a little more forgiving. Breadfruit, you really got to keep an eye on it. So I'm gonna make ourselves a little squishing area. If you have like a tostonera, which is the tool used to make tostones, great. I need to get one for the test kitchen, but in the meantime, just use some sheet trays and some parchment paper. You could use a tortilla press. I think if you do a tortilla press, just don't press too hard. So now, there you go. This is ready to go in for a second fry. Just check my heat. I don't know, I think tostones made out of breadfruit are better than the ones made out of plantain. start taking these tostones out. Just sheet tray with a rack. All right, just like anything that comes freshly out of the hot oil, hit it with salt. Just have some flaky salt here, some fancy. All right, I'm gonna keep frying the rest of these. I'll see you in a second. All right, let's have a taste. I love, love, love whole fish. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I actually like to do it with a spoon. I like to just like scoop out my little portion. And I've got my cilantro flowers here. Everything at the farmer's market right now is like flowering, so finished it with the cilantro flowers. You could just do regular cilantro too. You don't have to be as extra as I am. Put this on the tostone. Little bit of peppers, tomato. It's really the perfect bite. The fish itself has really nice acid, and then the peppers and tomato add sweetness. The pana is crispy, it's salty. I really think you're gonna like this. I hope you try it. Let me know what you think. Recipe down below. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.